Yeah, I mean, when you look at the attempts to now rebuild the party, what exactly is going to happen there with Weld basically coming out against Donald Trump, trying to rebuild the party.
Who's Weld?
William Weld was the governor of Republican governor of Massachusetts. He's now the Libertarian vice presidential candidate under Gary Johnson.
Okay.
And you've also got Mike Pence, who clearly won the Iowa caucus for 2020 the other night. How is the more traditional wing of the party going to come back, or is it going to come back?
Yeah.
Well, let me put it this way. I hate to talk about the future of the party when the election is not actually held. We can come back and have a great round in November. I will say this. Bill Weld is someone I've known a quarter century. He is perhaps the only living American who supported Mitt Romney in 2008 and then Barack Obama in November of 2008 and then was back with Mitt Romney in 2012. He has been all over the board, and now he's a libertarian, devoting his energies to being an untethered attack animal against Mr. Trump. He's also somebody who's in his late 60s now, nearly 70. He's in the twilight of his career, not the dawn. It really doesn't matter what he has to say. Now, there are many Republicans.
Yeah, well, what about Mr. Pence? Where does he come in?
Okay, Mr. Pence showed himself the other night to be a very formidable candidate and campaigner. He looked like a statesman. He sounded presidential, and he was a gentleman throughout that debate.
How do you settle the fact that he lied 70% of the time, John?
Well, wait a minute now, Dennis. Just a second. Before we set you up as arbiter and have you dispensing confessions and penance, tell me what he lied about.
Well, I mean, everything that he said, basically, that Donald Trump never said, has been proven to be absolutely untrue because we've got the videotape. It's almost as if members of the Republican Party or the conservative side don't believe in videotape machines or audio tape machines. I mean, if the man is caught saying something and literally says, no, my man did not say that, that happened on about 10 or 12 different occasions throughout the course of that debate.
Okay, Dennis, here we have a problem, and it is not your problem, my problem, or even Mr. Trump's. It's the age of modern communication. You have someone like Donald Trump, who is a businessman, not a politician. He doesn't even speak in complete sentences, which drives this old reporter a little berserk trying to write it all down. Now, I also know there are a lot of people like that around the country, and we can go into a long discourse on it. As George Orwell remarked in 1984, when newspeak is taking off, one of Winston Smith's colleagues says, do you know 10 years from now people won't understand the conversation we're having? That was prophetic. I think a lot of the things that Trump said that you think sound bad are not intended that way but came across that way. Now, we could say Pence wasn't lying. He was trying to interpret Trump speak. And in that case, he did a pretty good job. But I would say this. He reinforced the notion that another mainstream Republican conservative might have been leading Hillary Clinton right now by just performing, and in that way started the Pence in 2020 talk.